Welcome to Retro Upgrade. This time we'll be continuing with the flea market find Xbox. We are going to install a mod chip I got from AliExpress. It was €9 with shipping, not too bad. It's very useful. You can play backups, you can upgrade the storage, you can play directly from the hard drive and use it at the FTP so you can send files. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. There's more specifications on the internet. Okay, so let's continue with the video and hopefully you find it useful. Welcome to Retro Upgrade. Welcome back to part 4 of the flea market find Xbox. I'm trying to get this fully working. I ordered up a mod chip. This is the Aladin XT Plus2, I think. Comes with a pin header, easiest install of all. I will also be doing some maintenance on the console, removing the clock capacitor that usually explodes and leaves a mess and damages the console, and general cleanup of the console as well. Let's go. Okay, first things first, we need to clean out the holes. The mod chip goes on the bottom from these until the bottom here. You see there's a missing via here, or a missing through hole, so that one has to be removed. I think this one is completed, so we need to remove one of the pins. This is easiest done just pushing it through, seeing which one lifts up, and then just removing that one. You will need to take out the motherboard for this, so you can clean out the holes completely and solder from behind. Okay, let's go. To disassemble this, you need to remove screws. One here, one here, one here, one there, one there, and one there, one over here. You also need to disconnect the fan, this big one. And there should be a screw hidden down there. Okay, I can't see it, but it's fine. Plastic broke. It's loose. Okay, after this assembly, this clip, the power clip broke. This one. I'm just going to use some super glue to keep it in place, but won't be functional. Just put a drop on the bead it broke down there. It's old plastic. It's going to break. Okay, so what we need to install is this header right here, and these pins, so the bottom ones, like this. Look at this. So they sent the wrong length for pin headers from the factory. That's always fun. So that's 10, 5 on each side, I think. I don't know if it should be a 12 pin header, but that's no issue for me. I have these I can cut up and put in the right amount. Okay, let's cut up some headers just to have that done. So you get them aligned, you put them in the mod chip like this, and you solder them with them in the mod chip. Now, time to clean out the holes.
One eternity later.
So after a lot of wicking, I finally clear using a pin header just to check the holes. Looks fine. Okay. Now for the good part. I changed over to my soldering iron because the other one seems to have broken. So I'm using the curved tip. That's my favorite because you can use it with the corner or the tip, depending on how much heat you want into the joint. I used a lot of wick and some flux. Now let's show you how to do this. So let's put this back up here. Okay. So this is the top of the console. Ports are up here. This is the mod chip. Should be on the bottom side, so over here. You also need to solder a wire here somewhere. We'll do that later. I put on the pin headers here because I had to cut them, the two separate ones. This is just so alignment is better. But we need to remove this pin over here. So let's do that. So you can see this will go here, but there's a hole missing. So this one has to go. Just pull it out. It's a little fiddly and hard to do. There we go. The pin out. Just get the pins right. So the missing pin is there. And then when we put it down like this, I think it goes like this. Doesn't really matter how it is now. This is just to hold it in place. Just put it down, push it through. This is just to keep everything nice and steady. You can use some glue. So what I do is tack one of the corners first, this one or this one, and then we keep going. Just put a little bit of solder. That's it. Just do this. That's it. Now you push with the mod chip from the underneath. Heat up the pad and keep everything level. There we go. Let's do the other corner and then we can take off the mod chip. Just push up. Because I have the two loose bars, I'm going to do this one as well. There we go. Then the last one over here. Just check your work. Remove the mud chip. There we go. These are stuck, so just let's solder them on. Now I'll use some more flux if the board is covered in the stuff. Let's zoom in so you can see the action. You know what? There we go. Nice and soldered. Now for the soldering on this one, you need to put a wire from here to the BT. So this is ground. Just to the BT, so it's always on. Before, long time ago, you needed to turn off your mod chip so you didn't get blocked from online play, but nowadays that doesn't matter because the servers are down anyway. And there is one more line you need to solder. You need to solder it from D0 right here to the others to the main board of the Xbox. I'll show you the point. You also have D0 on this side. This one right here. So you can put it in and just solder it in place while you have the wire. So these two should be connected, the 0 and this one, right here. So there is damage on the board, but not a lot, and it doesn't affect the trace right next to it. So that's fine. Let's keep going. Let's clean up the entire general area. And I'll show you what you need to do with the mod chip. Okay, this is a little hard to show exactly what it is. Okay, let's see if it stops shaking. Okay, so this is the pin connector we installed. This is the small chip next to it. So you want to find in a 1.2 these two and this one. That's D0. So we need to solder a wire to this. To the mod chip on the D0 line. Right there. As you can see, the VI is connected on the back side as well. So we can solder it to the back side. You also need to do the always on button. So you solder from this pad to BT. So these two. This is ground. So. Or let's say BT is the ground. Okay, so let's do that. Small wire should do it. So what you want to do is pre-tin that one and that one. Do that. There's one. Let's thin the D0 line as well. This will be used for later. Let's thin the main board. So you need to thin this one over here. We need to run a really small wire to D0. So I'm putting a little bit of flux. And I'm going to thin the pad with the via. This is really small. There we go. I'm going to be using magnet wire. Let's see. This thin stuff right here. It's almost not visible. It's really thin. It has some insulation covering, so you have to burn that off first. Let's do that. See? Turns silver. It's better with a blob of solder on the iron. Now, to maneuver this in place. There, it's done. Can hold it down with the tweezers now and put on some more. What's it called? Yeah, no, it broke off. Keep the wire down. That hurts like hell. I can't keep it flat. This is down to technique. I suck at this stuff. 10. Okay, so it's soldered on. This wire is super thin. Really. So what you need to do is clean up here. Be very careful so you don't rip off anything. Use a cotton swab, circular motion around. Because I'm going to cover this with Kapton tape to hold it in place. So I want it nice and clean before I do that. Now you can see the joint. You can see the position of the wire relative to the plug. It's right there. Now what you need to do is put the chip correct way up. So I'll double check. I think it goes this way. I'm not sure. Okay, so I was right. This goes this way down. So the ports are on this side. And the connections for the video and stuff are on the back. So this has to be readable correctly. Okay, let's solder this wire to that point. I'll put some Kapton tape on this first. This stuff. Non-conductive, can actually survive a lot of heat, but that's not why I'm going to use it this time. That should do it. This is just so I don't rip it off while I'm soldering. There we go. Hold this down. this. Don't forget this is insulation, so you have to burn it off. There we go. Nice and firm. And this can be broken just by wicking it back and forth like this. Sometimes it doesn't want to. There we go. Took the piece off. Installation complete. This wire goes here. The BT line is soldered to ground, so that's always on. And the Aladin chip is on, and we have it securely fastened. So let's put everything together and see if it works. In video. I bought myself some component cables. They came in the mail the other day. I haven't tried them yet. But my capture card doesn't, or my upscaler doesn't take components, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's see, what more do we need to test this? Oh yeah, power. Let's see, this one, yeah. Okay, so let's turn the capture card on with the upscaler. Hook up a controller. We'll do the final showcase on the TV, so you can see it in color. This should give you a quick idea if it works or not. Okay, moment of truth. Does it burn up? Quick test. Burnt disk. Conker's Bad Fur Day Xbox version. The mod chip is working. So we Evo X. Fine. See if it starts up the disk. This laser is a little bit picky, so maybe it won't work. Or maybe you need to start it with the game inside, who knows? Oh, look, it works fine. I had some issues with another disc, same game. It was a TDK disc. Don't buy those, they suck. I use verbatim disc in this case. It works really nicely. It doesn't stutter or anything. Ignore the glitchy sound. It's my capture card that captures the audio twice. I don't know why. As probably some setting I screwed up somewhere, so I'll have to look into that. And ignore the black and white picture. It's just because of the upscaler card I use to connect it to the computer. I'm going to order a new one. I'm going to load into the game. See, so the controller works as well. Sometimes the FMV works, but not the actual game. This is unskippable intro. Really don't like these, but what can you do? So this game is more censored than the N64 version, just in case. So Nintendo actually allowed more profanity than this one. If you haven't played it, it's for adults. It's really rough humor. I just love these kinds of games. This should never have been on a Nintendo, but it was. This is the remake for the Xbox. So this is the menu system for the game. So it's an interactive HUD. So it seems to be working fine. So let's try one of the options. Maybe load in a game. The game is quite fun. I have never played the Xbox version, only the N64 one. Shouldn't be too different, just the graphics updated. Okay, so let's see if it loads up a game. It loads quite fast. This is real time. I'm not speeding up anything so you can see. Sorry for the raspy voice, I've been sick. Yep, it loads fine. You just need to choose a profile here and you are good to go. Let's switch over to the built-in app they had installed on the other mod chip. It's a Xbox Media Player, I think. If you see the Evo X sign, the chip is active, so that's really good. I don't know if there is anything installed on the system. This is an extra Xbox Media Player 2.4. So this is an add-on you put in when you already had a mod chip. The mod chip gives you a lot of options. Upgrading the storage to 2 terabytes, changing firmware, and a few other things. You can also install games on the hard drives, so you don't need the disks anymore. And you can use the FTP to transfer files on a network and stuff. Really handy. Okay, so let's see if we can see something in the system here. Go to my programs. There's a HDD. Oh, there are some games installed here. Let's try Crazy Taxi. This should load a lot faster than the CD or DVD. Of course, it's an IDE drive and it's really old. If you're going to use a 2 terabyte drive, you need a SATA converter to IDE. Some work, some don't. It's a little trial and error, but they're not expensive, at a few euros each. And normal speed 2 terabyte drive should work fine. Okay, let's start the game. Just clicking yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'll choose the first option on anything, just to see it run. Still takes a while to load, I think. I'm used to the new games. Okay. Let's see if it drives. I can't remember what buttons. There we go. Yeah, works perfectly. So let's go at the end of the video here. Let's just end it here. Thank you for watching until the end. I've been a little lazy the last few weeks here, but I'm going to ramp up video production. Hopefully you enjoyed this or learned something. See you on the next video. Bye.